The plane, the plane. Remember that line from that old television show? Hello, fellas. This is the Gabby Mac Project. Let me salute everyone in uniform that keep the country free and those that keep the communities we live in safe every day. All right, let's have some fun today. Now, a lot of you probably won't remember that TV show called Fantasy Island. But anyway, it was on for about 7 years. Now, on the island, Mr. Rourke was the overseer who charged each visitor about in today's dollars, about $170,000 to have their fantasies come true. Now, the premise of the show was that people came to have their desires fulfilled, but at the end, they were reborn through the magical realism of Fantasy Island. And it should be noted that the guests' most important life lessons came about through the medium of their fantasies. And some of the guests' fantasies were not without peril. But the greatest danger usually came from the guests themselves. Now, today, if I was rich and I was a producer and I wanted to do an updated version of Fantasy Island, and since Ricardo Montalban isn't available anymore, I would cast Kevin Samuels to step in and play the part of Mr. Rourke. Now, on this particular episode of Fantasy Island, there would be about 30 women flying into the island with their fantasies sealed in envelopes. Now, there would be a variety of ages, but be sure most of them would be fall into the category of what's been popularized today as the danger zone, meaning they are over 30, have had multiple failed relationships, and in some cases had 1, 2, or 3 kids to boot. Some had above average income, some not so much. But they all had one thing in common: this desire to meet and potentially marry a quote unquote high value man, which to us laymen means someone who has a lot of money and status. So they came to have a wild weekend, a fun weekend, and they believed everything in the brochure. They bought the latest outfits and swimwear, hoping to attract that one of those 10% of men. Now, Mr. Rourke, as he always does, he conducts interview with all the guests that come to the island. He wants to get a better understanding of their desires, aka fantasies. Now, this new Mr. Rourke is critical and somewhat direct in assessing the woman's dreams. He tells most of them that they're overweight and out of shape. "But I make a lot of money," they exclaim. "Your money doesn't matter," Mr. Rourke retorts. Now, during some of the interviews, Mr. Rourke tells some that, well, this one in particular, that she's not the friendly type of woman. He tells another one that she's not feminine. And another one was told that she was not cooperative. And yet another one, he told her that she was masculine and definitely not wife material. Not happy at all, not happy at all. So at the end of the interviews, a significant number of women wanted their money back. Mr. Rourke let it be known that it was not refundable. However, he said they were invited to come back next year after they made all the necessary changes. He said, "I'll be here." In the end, only 2 of the 30 got what they came for. Now, here's Gabby Mac's 25 cents. What you learn from watching my take of Fantasy Island is that modern women don't look at themselves through the same prism as men they desire and want. In the end, men want what they want and will not settle for anything less. They want women who are in shape, friendly, cooperative, and supportive. Doesn't seem like too much to ask for me. Gabby Mac. Oh, you?